Betrayal is one of those things that cuts deeper than almost anything else. When someone betrays us, it feels like the very foundation of our world has been shaken. Trust, the thing that holds every relationship together, whether it's with friends, family, or a partner, has been shattered. It's like a wound you can't see but can feel in every part of your being. But what makes someone betray another? What is it that drives a person to break that bond so completely? It's often more than just the act itself. It's about something that runs deeper, something psychological that influences decisions, sometimes without the betrayer even realizing it. In the heat of the moment, betrayal can feel like a calculated decision, like someone just chose to hurt you. But in reality, it's rarely that simple. For the person doing the betraying, it often doesn't feel like a malicious attack. It might even feel justified. People rationalize their behavior to reduce the discomfort they feel from going against their values. They might convince themselves that it was necessary or deserved. Maybe they feel wronged, or maybe they've convinced themselves that they were entitled to the betrayal.
The act of betrayal is often wrapped up in a layer of self-justification, a defense mechanism that helps them ignore the guilt they might otherwise feel. In some cases, betrayal is rooted in deep insecurity. Think about someone who feels like they're not enough, someone who constantly doubts their worth. For people in this space, betraying others can sometimes feel like a way to take control, to gain power, or to feel seen. It's not always about wanting to hurt someone else. It's often about them needing validation. The act of betrayal offers a temporary sense of superiority, as if for a brief moment they can hold something over someone else. It's like a false boost to their self-esteem, one that wears off quickly, but in the moment feels like the only way out of their own emotional turmoil. There's also the fear of abandonment, a fear that drives so much of human behavior. For some people, betrayal is a preemptive strike. They betray others before they themselves can be betrayed, before they can feel the sting of rejection. It's like a shield, a way to control the situation and prevent themselves from getting hurt. If they cut the person off first, they feel as though they can protect themselves from the inevitable pain of being abandoned. This can happen in friendships, romantic relationships, or even in the workplace. The underlying fear of being left behind or unloved is so strong that it pushes them to act in a way that might seem counterintuitive, but makes sense in their world. Then there's jealousy, that gnawing feeling that can eat away at a person when they see someone else succeed or thrive. When envy takes root, betrayal often follows. It's not always about being malicious. Sometimes it's simply about feeling like someone else has something you don't, and you'll do whatever it takes to level the playing field. This is especially true in competitive environments, where one person's success can feel like a personal threat. The thought of someone else having what you want, whether it's success, love, or admiration, can push someone to betray them just to feel a little less insignificant. It's a painful cycle, one where the betrayed person becomes a tool in the betrayer's attempt to shore up their own ego. And then there's power. The desire for control can be a strong motivator. In toxic relationships or environments, the dynamics of power and control can lead someone to betray others just to gain an upper hand. Maybe they feel they're not in control of their own life, or maybe they feel that someone else has the power and influence they crave. So they take it. They manipulate, they lie, they betray, all in an effort to feel important, to feel like they have some measure of control. It's a toxic way to assert power, but it's a method that some people use when they feel they have no other way to assert themselves. All of these motivations are influenced by the way we connect with others, or rather, the way some people struggle to connect.
People with insecure attachment styles, for example, may be more prone to betray others. Those with anxious attachment often betray because they fear being abandoned. They act out of desperation to keep someone close, to keep them from leaving. Avoidant attachment, on the other hand, can lead someone to betray to avoid intimacy altogether. They may distance themselves from others as a way of protecting themselves from getting too close, too vulnerable, too exposed. These attachment patterns, shaped by early experiences, influence the way we interact with others throughout our lives. Some people betray others because they simply don't feel empathy for them. Maybe it's a lack of awareness, or maybe it's a lack of care. For those with narcissistic tendencies or sociopathic traits, others are often seen as tools to be used for personal gain. They don't think about the harm their actions cause. They are too focused on their own needs to consider the emotional fallout for others. Betrayal, in these cases, becomes an extension of selfishness, a way to take what they want without regard for anyone else. But what happens after betrayal? How does it affect the person who betrays? It's not as if they just move on without a second thought. The guilt, the shame, the fear of the consequences, they all come into play. After the act of betrayal, many people experience intense feelings of guilt. They may even begin to rationalize the betrayal, convincing themselves that it was necessary or that the other person deserved it. But deep down, they know the truth. They've hurt someone they once cared about, and that knowledge can eat away at them. The fear of being caught or facing the consequences can also be overwhelming. Betrayal doesn't come without its own brand of anxiety. The fear that their actions will be exposed, that they'll lose everything, can push the betrayer into a cycle of lies, avoidance, and even more betrayal. It's a vicious cycle, each lie only deepening the hole they've already dug for themselves.
And what about the person who has been betrayed? The emotional toll is just as deep, if not deeper. Betrayal can cause a kind of trauma, especially when it comes from someone we trust deeply. It's like having the rug pulled out from under you. The emotional damage can be long-lasting, causing self-doubt, a shattered sense of trust, and feelings of unworthiness. The victim might question their own judgment, wondering how they could have missed the signs. They might become hypervigilant in future relationships, guarding themselves against the possibility of being hurt again. The damage to self-esteem is often one of the hardest things to recover from. When someone we love or trust betrays us, it can feel like we were never truly worthy of that trust or love in the first place. It's easy to start internalizing the betrayal, thinking that there's something wrong with us. The pain can be isolating, and the process of healing is long. Trust has to be rebuilt, and that can feel impossible at times. The emotional scars are real, and they don't just fade away with time. They require intentional healing. Healing, however, is possible. It requires acknowledging the pain, both from the perspective of the person who betrayed and the person who was betrayed. For the betrayer, it's about taking responsibility, about recognizing the hurt they've caused, and about making amends. For the betrayed, it's about rebuilding trust, not just in others, but in themselves. The healing process is often messy and slow, but it is possible, and it starts with honest communication, vulnerability, and a willingness to confront the pain. Forgiveness in this process can be part of the journey, but it doesn't mean forgetting or excusing the betrayal. It means letting go of the emotional burden for the sake of healing. Ultimately, betrayal is a complex, painful act, driven by many different internal and external factors. But understanding the psychological motives behind it can be the first step towards healing, for both the person who betrays and the one who is betrayed. It's not about erasing the past, but about moving forward with a deeper understanding of ourselves and the dynamics that drive our actions. When we recognize the emotional forces that shape our behavior, we can begin to heal, to rebuild trust, and to navigate our relationships in healthier, more authentic ways.